Hello and welcome back to Webcast News. Let's get started. And firstly for today is more news from the Calais crisis, where there has been a big fallout between the Calais Mayor Natasha Bouchard and the UK Prime Minister David Cameron, as if there wasn't already a big enough fallout between them anyway. Bouchard has come out and accused Cameron of being mocking and contemptuous, to which most people in the UK went, duh. And now the Mayor of Calais has also threatened to open the borders so that the thousands of migrants that are camped in Calais can easily get over to the UK. She's also accused David Cameron of imposing his own laws on Calais, although when asked what laws, she did not state any. So how true that is, I'm not sure. And Ms Bouchard has also demanded that David Cameron and the French President François Hollande and herself meet to discuss the issue. She's calling for urgent talks, and in part of it said, if the British do not want to get around the table to discuss security, humanitarian issues and economic solidarity, then we will have to open the borders. There's a lot of talk about a table though in what she said, so I don't know if she's just asking for a new table or if she just wants to do a meeting around a table. I'm not really sure here. The Home Office spokesman for the UK said that the British will continue to work closely with the French government, but also pointed out that they can't just deal with the consequences of what is happening, they have to actually try and be able to solve the problems in the first place. To which the French probably just went, what problems? We don't see any, we open the borders, you get the people, we're fine. Because they tend to just think about themselves, governments really. Although the spokesman for the Home Office did also say, that's why the UK is playing a leading role in pushing for action through the EU and the UN to tackle the causes of illegal immigration and the organised trafficking gangs behind it. Although it is real chaos in Calais right now, it has been for a while, but in the past few days it's been reported that these trafficking groups are taking fees to then take these migrants over to the UK in what is being called a smuggler's fee. And for the people who can't afford that smuggler's fee, they are actually resorting to prostitution. And one gang member actually held a pistol at UKIP MEP Mike Hookham whilst he was in one of the Calais camps. And this links back to what I said before on this Calais crisis. The French really don't care what happens with these migrants so long as they're out of France. And unfortunately at the moment, they have the cards on the UK because they have the migrants and they are helping to keep them in Calais at the moment. But a couple of wrong steps from the UK, Calais opens its borders. There's no way that the British police patrolling that area will be able to hold all of them back. So we're pretty much in the French's hands right now. And now on to a quick update on the explosions in Tianjin, China. Nuclear and biomechanical experts have been sent to that industrial area after the explosions because of the hazardous materials that went up in the blasts. So they are now having to make sure that the area is clean and okay. And there was also the news of a 19-year-old firefighter called Zhao Ti. He was pulled from the wreckage in Tianjin 32 hours after the explosions happened. He is alive and in a stable condition in the hospital. However, he does have burns to his face, an injury to one of his legs, and is also suffering from smoke inhalation. But, as said, stable condition, expected to survive. And whilst other firefighters have been confirmed dead, others missing, others injured, we do need to remember that people in this job, and people like policemen and things like that, are risking their lives every day as their job, which is extremely brave and something a lot of people would not want to do. And we never really seem to think about this until firefighters are needed in something. Then we consider how brave they are and how much they really help everyone. So I think this is a time where we need to remember how much they've done for everyone here. And finally, a bit of an odd story from Pennsylvania, and of course it involves jail and police because that is the only thing we can get from America nowadays. Now, this is of 63-year-old man Louis Fogel. In 1976, there was a murder and rape of 15-year-old Deanne Long. In 1981, Louis Fogel was arrested, sentenced and put in jail life imprisonment sentence, along with 3 other people who were jailed as well. However, recently a DNA test was done on the sperm evidence on this case, and it ruled out Mr. Fogel from doing this. So seemingly he had been in prison for 30 plus years for something he did not do. And it isn't as if he hadn't tried to challenge this. He tried multiple times, but his case kept getting thrown out very quickly. A judge in Indiana, Pennsylvania has thrown out the case now, and $25,000 has been given to Mr. Fogel as bail. However, though all this has happened, a senior court official has said that they still believe that Mr. Fogel was a part of the murder and rape. Although he didn't actually do it, they believe that he was part of it. This is also backed up by Indiana Court District Attorney Patrick Dougherty. So now Mr. Fogel must go back to court on the 14th of September, and by that time they will have decided whether to bring him back in or not to try and bring back second-degree murder charges to him. And the verdict, if the court case does go ahead, to be given on the same day. It's a weird one, this, because for 30 plus years no one has quite seemed to know or really particularly cared of what actually happened in this. But hopefully with new DNA evidence that's come out over the past 30 years and all other strategies that are now used, can get the correct result in this case. But it's not when a case actually takes 30 plus years to solve, because this is still an unknown really if they're not sure whether Mr. Fogel actually had a part in this or not. But on that note, that is it for today's video. If you have liked the video, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you are liking the channel, and as always, thanks for watching.